All right, folks, here we are in week 14. We're almost done. We have 2 more weeks. I don't know about you, but I'm so excited. Okay, maybe I'm a little scared too. Are you guys even old enough to remember this show? I mean, it was massively huge and probably still is in reruns. Anyway, this is the week where your semester is pretty much made or broken. Have you taken the time to work on your paper over the last month plus? Have you taken my advice and followed my sample? This is where I get scared. Dare I even look? Now that we're through with that walk down TV lane, let's chat about the material for the week, shall we? You know the drill. Here's the weekly announcement. Please see that I have a special note here about the due dates for the last 2 weeks of class. As you can see, the week 14 assignment, which is the paper, has to be in by Sunday, November 30th, 2025. No later than 11:59 p.m. If you submit it late, it will not be accepted. It will be a 0. Week 15 is the final presentation. It must be in by Sunday, December 7th, 2025, by 11:59 p.m. And if it's not in by then, it's 0. That is a huge deal, okay? Now, I can't accept either of these late because I've got 81 papers coming in. I've got, I got about 50 presentations coming in, and there's no way I can get all of that done in 2 days. So everything's got to be spaced out correctly. Make sure that everything is in there, okay? No exceptions, no extensions, no excuses. We have the video chapter listing. We show you what's coming up for next week. We show you what you need to do today, including the PowerPoint we're going to be going over in this video, and what is to be submitted, including the sample here to help you out. All right? So, if you don't want to look at this, maybe we can go back and click on the masterclass schedule. We click on that and scroll all the way down. Let's go. There we go. All the way down to week 14. As you can see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things to look at. We have 2 assignments, okay? Before anything else, I once again want to remind you of something. I cannot accept the final paper late. The due date is Sunday, November 30th, 2025 by 11:59 p.m. Eastern. No ifs, ands, or buts, please. I need these in so I can grade them and get them done prior to the semester ending. If you're late, I'm late. If I'm late, then my department is late. If my department is late, then my campus is late. If the campus is late, then the college is going to look for someone to blame, and fortunately for you, it's not going to be you. However, that's the point. No extensions, no excuses, no exceptions. This will be the next to last week of the semester, and I have, like I said, 81 papers to grade in all my sections by the end of the week to submit for final grades. And that's before I get to your presentations. So I can't accept papers 2, 3, or 4 days late in that final week. Period. Please don't put it off. I'd hate to see anybody get burned for extreme procrastination. So look, these are the 5 things that they want you to look through for the week, and you're absolutely welcome to do that. Hell, I encourage you to do that. But I want to split off for a minute, well, maybe 20 minutes, and go over the items in my own way. You'll find the PowerPoint we're about to go over attached to this week's announcement, as well as linked with the Unit 4's learning materials, so you can follow along at your leisure. Ready? Let's rock and roll then. All right, so this is relatively the same PowerPoint that I would go over if you were in my in-class section of English 102. I've modified it slightly for the asynchronous online section, so let's see what we've got here. I usually ask how many people are not looking forward to the final presentation, and I see a good handful of hands go up in the air. Then I ask who is a tad nervous at the prospect of speaking in front of your peers and instructors, maybe even invited industry professionals for other classes, of course, and I see other hands go up. And basically I ask who is downright terrified. I ask these questions not for a laugh, not for a joke, but because You are not uncommon, okay? The number one fear for Americans, and you can Google this up, is glossophobia, which is the fear of public speaking. And people would rather die than speak in public. That's how bad it is. First time I started teaching, I was terrified of speaking in front of a class. I got over that very quickly, and now you can't shut me up. So you get used to it, everybody, I promise. So, this is a totally online class. You don't necessarily have to do public speaking here because everything is going to be filmed, recorded, and submitted that way. So you kind of cheated the system a little bit. I would never, ever make all of you come into class and sit with people that you've never met before, because that would indeed be a huge problem. But you still have to put together your presentation and do a voiceover. You can do this. So, how do you do it? Well, understand the requirements of the presentation. After you understand this, you can pick and choose what you need to worry about. First, you need to give a 5 to 7 minute presentation with visuals so the class can see the results of your research throughout the semester. Usually that means a PowerPoint. However, you can also do a Prezi. You can do Google Slides. You can do Canva. You can do any other digital program which can be accessible on Delaware, Texas campus. Okay? You will not be reading your research paper. This is not something where it's a Sunday afternoon at the library and you're reading to little kids. Okay? You are presenting this material much like I'm doing right now. So, when do we start to worry? Well, first, I want you to split the idea up into 3 distinct time frames. First, before the big moment, then the big moment itself, and next, after the big moment, okay? Now, right now, we are in before the big moment. You have not yet recorded or put together your presentation yet. You still have to understand what is expected. And again, that is 5 to 7 minutes of a presentation, including visuals, that is digital, okay? I don't want you to record somebody holding a piece of poster board against the wall while you use your phone. I want to see something that's going to be a little bit more professional, a little bit more academic. It has to be compatible with Delaware Tech's PC architecture. That means all you Mac users, you can't use all the stuff that you have, simply because of the fact that we can't open it, okay? If you do that, you're going to get a 0. I hate for you to do that work and then find out that nobody can see it. Consider your timing, your technology, everything, okay? Know who your audience is. On the surface, the audience is just me, okay? It's the most important part of any lecture, because you need to realize what you have to say and how you have to say it to make sure your audience gets the most out of your presentation. However, under the surface, you're also talking to the rest of the people in your class. You are trying your best to make sure that your audience is not bored, they are entertained, they're getting something out of it. Everything is right there. What do you expect from their presentations, and give that to them in your presentation, okay? I understand that my audience is you. You don't want to be bored. You want me to get through this rather quickly. So therefore, I try to be a little bit quick. I try to be a little bit funny. I try to be very informative. So I don't think you want to be bored. I vary my voice. I make stupid jokes. I make stupid voices. Whatever, because that's something interesting, okay? Figure out how you want your presentation to look. If you've been paying attention to what I've had on the screen in front of you, you'll see that I've had like maybe one image on each slide. That's to break up the text-heavy design, okay? You are the main attraction. You are the person that we would come to see or listen to. Everything else on the screen is just a distraction from that. So you have to be confident enough in your abilities to explain your material and let the screen just kind of roll over your audience, okay? So you want your slides to be visually attractive. They must be easy to read, okay? They have to be clean looking and organized. Do not make them with weird colors and weird graphics and all sorts of animations just because you can. You want to make sure that they are easily focused and they are easily read. I have seen people give me like a red background with yellow text because they think it's funny. If I can't read it, it's pointless and it gives me a migraine. So, notice mine. It's a clear background, right? It's a nice beige, ecru, whatever you want to call it, background, black text. I'm not overdoing it with everything. It's very clear to read. It's helpful, okay? So, let me show you how things can go bad. Right now, hey, what are you paying attention to? Well, you got the text up on the screen. Easy to read, no problems. If I click another button, all of a sudden I get more text up there. You will start to read this to make sure that you know what's being said. That's great. I can keep going, but then I can realize, oh wait, I didn't put any images on, so I want to put an image or two on to make it pretty. I do this, and all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, that's a lot of crap. And now walking around my screen, probably in, counterclockwise formation. Oh, look, there's Homer and Bart. Ha, 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 that's really funny. Okay, great. But then you think, wait a minute. I thought he said I can do animations. Let me see if I can do that. So once I start to do that and everything starts to spin and shake and move and groove and do all this, it is annoying as hell, is it not? So really understand that the more distraction you have on the screen, the worse your presentation is going to be. Had to get that off there. Before you record this, before you submit this, practice. If you know who this guy is, you know we talking about practice, man. You know it's practice. It's not game time. It's not presentation time. It's practice. If you have no idea what I'm talking about and you think I'm being a little racially insensitive, look up Allen Iverson practice. You'll thank me later, okay? Don't just do the presentation and wing it. This presentation that you're seeing right now, I have done this for roughly 20 years. I can do this in my sleep. I have practiced so much. So practice your presentation so you're not stumbling, bumbling, and fumbling through the entire thing. Remember, and my sister had this in her gymnastics studio when she was younger, practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect, okay? The more you practice it, the better it will be. So, are you ready for this? Gather your equipment. Use note cards if you're presenting in front of a group. Don't write script cards. For a video presentation like this, writing a script is perfectly acceptable because nobody's going to be able to see you anyway. Okay? However, if you are going to be seen, if you are going to have the video window, which I hope a lot of you do, truthfully, because I want to see who you are, make sure that you are not looking down at your script or your note cards more than you need to. Like right now, I am actually speaking right to my camera, okay? I'm not even looking at papers. So make sure that everything is brief and you're not reading anything, or else it starts to become robotic, and you might say only the main ideas and important points anymore, and they will get cluttered and keep you from maintaining good eye contact. See the difference in my voice? Right now, I'm speaking, I am interacting, I am presenting. Otherwise, I'm just reading, and it is really boring. Oh, wow. Okay? Understand your technology. If you're presenting in front of a class, are you presenting using a projector or a remote clicker like I do? Right now, what you're focused on is your laptop or your desktop and your webcam or your external webcam or whatever it is. But one big tip for you, expect it to break. Have a backup plan just in case, okay? That is key. If you've got to record it on your phone simply because, hey, guess what? Your camera broke? We can talk about that. But have a backup plan just in case. Dress for success. Now, for you guys, this doesn't necessarily mean a lot, okay? People tend to respect people who are dressed well. because it looks like they put the time in. It looks like they are somebody to really pay attention to. The clothes make the man, or the clothes make the woman. Look competent, and the audience will treat you as such. But if you look like you just woke up and your hair's all messed up and you've got a ripped t-shirt on, people are going to look at you like you're high. So take a second, dress yourself up. Now, for you guys, it's going to be from like the chest up, because that's what the camera's going to pick up. But make sure that you're in good shape. Now, I usually put this up for my in-class sections, and it's really helpful for you guys too, just for the future. But these are the most common types of dress. Ladies, I apologize that this is male-centered, but I tried to find a similar image for women, but it didn't really fit as well. But you can imagine your own outfits in this respect as well. I would absolutely say streetwear is definitely not something that you want to use. It makes it look like you literally just rolled out of bed and picked whatever was on the floor. Casual is something that, like, hey, you're going to go out and do some yard work in. It's definitely not something that you're going to be trustworthy. Business casual, in the summertime it might work because it's hot, but otherwise it makes it look like you're not taking it as seriously as you could. Also, it probably looks like you work at Target. Smart casual is a really good plan, because now it looks like you have definitely taken that step to look a little bit more professional. Business informal is usually a really great idea because you are commanding your audience's attention at this point. It is very obvious that you have prepared for this. Black tie semi-formal, it's overkill. Unless you plan on becoming a gentleman spy like James Bond, it's definitely too much, okay? So when you guys are dressing for success online, make sure that you are presenting yourself in a really solid way with what the camera can see. So take a look at this woman over here. You know, look, she's got a blazer on. She's got things behind her that make it look a little bit professional. The coned dog is here. The other dog is over here. You know, she's wearing slippers, I think, but you can't tell that because her camera is pointed up here. Over here, this joker, it looks like he literally just woke up. Hair's all a mess. He's got crap behind him. You know, treat this like a virtual job interview. Make sure you're making the best impression you possibly can. If you look like a slob, they're going to ignore you. So make sure that whatever the camera can pick up, you're in good shape. Set the scene for that. Look at this woman, okay? She's got everything clean behind her, so it looks relatively nice, right? But look at what the camera can't see. There's baby toys all over the floor. There's, I think, a dog under the table. She's wearing somewhat of a, I don't know if they're booty shorts or what, but they are not really professional for what she's got. However, the top looks nice, and you know, she's got this line of sight, and she even put a chair on the table to make sure that the camera is up at chest height, okay? As long as your audience can't see your stuff, you're golden. Set the scene before you hit connect or record, and that's good for a Zoom meeting or recording a presentation, okay? What needs to be done before you start your recording? Well, make sure you're well lit. I always open the curtain next to my desk when I'm recording from home, because that way I'm getting the natural light coming in. Do not be in front of the window, however, because all that light streaming in is going to wash you out. Make sure the image on your preview reflects exactly what you want your audience to see in the video itself. That means cleaning up a little bit, organizing a little bit, lie a little bit, make it look like you're in a better place. Take it to a library, take it outside and put it like in your backyard. So maybe your mom or dad or maybe you are a great gardener, so you're doing it in the middle of your garden. Hey, that's wonderful too, okay? If you're going to use a virtual background, choose it well. Don't use a pop culture setting or a sporting background unless it fits your topic. If you feel strongly about no one seeing anything in your house, and that's perfectly fine too, the blur feature will actually just kind of, blur everything behind you. All they'll focus on is you, and there's nothing else that can be seen. That's an easy way to clean up if you just really want to be lazy. Make sure that your area is easily controlled. If you have a door, close it. If there are other people around you, warn them that you're about to record. Silence your cell phone or turn it off. That means no pets, no kids, no people yelling from other rooms, no TV, no music. And for the love of God Almighty, if you have a smoke detector that has a low battery, either unplug it, take the battery out, or better yet, replace the battery and replace it. Because there's nothing more annoying than hearing beep, beep, every 30 seconds while somebody's trying to talk, okay? Good. Make sure that you review your presentation again. Make sure before you submit it that you actually understand that you recorded what you meant to record. Did your audio cut out? Did the camera shift? Did the background change accidentally? Was somebody playing around with your camera and all of a sudden everything you did came out in a kitty cat filter? Make sure that the ambient noise wasn't picked up, like a garbage truck driving past or your mom yelling at your sibling, okay? You may have nailed it on the first take, but you may have to edit it at best or refilm it at worst, okay? It's your presentation. Make sure that you're presenting yourself as you intended. That's pretty much everything before the big moment. When the big moment arrives and you're actually sitting here and recording it, remember to breathe. Now, I'm not doing that because I'm already over 20 minutes, and I'm trying my best to get through this as quickly as possible for you. But when I'm presenting in class, when I'm presenting normally, take your time. Don't speed. Take breaths. Understand what you have been saying and what you're expecting to say. Breathing will help. Maintain eye contact when you're talking with people in the room. And you know what? Because you're online, the camera lens happens to be your audience's eyes. So if you keep looking at that, you're maintaining good eye contact. So those of you, which again I hope is all of you, who are going to record themselves in a little corner of your presentation, that's going to be helpful. We're going to be able to see that you're actually looking at the camera rather than reading something, okay? Watch your tone. Once again, some of your material may not be exhilarating, but if you're not excited to present it, why should your audience be excited to hear about it? It is much different than keep the temperature of the room. If you read very flat and monotone, you are going to lose every single audience member you have. If you vary your voice, if you give a little bit of inflection, it's going to sound like you are actually a human being, la-di-da, and everybody's happy, okay? Pay attention. Always have a plan B in case something happens, in case something breaks. You find out your camera dies. Somebody comes running into the room. Be sure to pause it really quickly. Something. Okay? And whatever you do, don't panic. Even when I screw things up, I can pause it and I can refilm stuff. Just take your time. Okay? Show respect to people. Watch their videos. Don't ignore them. Comment on them accordingly. When you're talking to somebody who's giving a presentation in the classroom, put your phones away. Turn off your computers. Don't have your tablets out. Attend the presentations. Don't do anything that's rude. Don't get up and walk out. Don't talk to your neighbors. Give your full attention to each and every presenter. Your teachers are used to being ignored and, just completely disrespected. That's what we get paid for. However, your peers shouldn't get that same level of disrespect. After the big moment, it's all done. You've submitted it. It's happy. Everybody's good. What do you do now? Well, breathe, sit back, and enjoy your peers' presentations. Just take it easy. To finish up, understand the specifics. 5 to 7 minutes. You need presentation digitals, digital presentation images, and visuals. That's what I was hoping for. See, even I screw up. And make sure that it is something that we can see. It's not a Mac product, okay? Understand who the audience is. I want to see you be smart. Design very clearly. Verify your final product. Make sure that what you are submitting is what you actually meant to submit. It needs to have visuals. It cannot be just you speaking, okay? Practice it, present yourself, and the material will follow suit, and show respect for your fellow presenters and the audience. More often than not, finish up with a slide that asks for any questions. You can always put your email address on here in case somebody has questions. If you're really brave, you can give them your cell phone number, although I don't recommend that. But always ask any questions. It leaves your audience to believe that you are confident enough in your ability to explain things that you're willing to take all things when they come. See? That was a long one, but that's going to help you greatly. Now, what does all that mean? Well, like I said, they gave you these 5 things here, and I'm going to go through them incredibly quickly because I literally just said everything. This first one is the argument speech overview. It's probably the most important one as it lays out all the specifics for the paper. Just remember what I said. I want visuals, information, and it has to be between 5 and 7 minutes. Sound good, right? Do not panic. Trust me when I tell you this. 5 to 7 minutes when you're scripting your video is very quick. There are so many times this semester I think I'm killing it on time, and when I look down, I'm shocked to find out that I'm already at 12 minutes. Don't think 5 to 7 minutes is ridiculous because it will go so quickly that you won't even realize it. Anyway, anything under 5 minutes is going to lose you points. Anything grossly over 8 minutes will lose you points. There is a sweet spot here, folks. Fill it. The next one is how to begin a speech effectively. It's actually a rehashing of introductions. I'm not quite sure why this is here, but hey, take a look if it helps you out. Then we have organizing the argument research speech. It's really a waste of your time. Why? Well, you're going to organize your speech the way you organized your paper. You're not mixing and matching. Move on. Keeping your speech moving, transitions, and signposts is another way of working with transitions. We've already talked about it. Need a review? This is it. Want to skip it? Be my guest. Citing sources in a speech is painfully obvious. Don't take credit for what's not yours. Duh. Now that the theory is done, let's talk about brass tacks, shall we? Let's get into the assignments for the week. So, as you can see, we have 2 assignments this week. The research paper that we've spoken about, which is this one. Argumentative research paper assignment tells you everything you need to know. We've already talked about it time and time again. If you go back to your announcement, that's what I wanted to show you. You will see that I have that right here, and I have the sample once again. If you do not look at the sample and you do not compare your paper to my sample paper, which looks just like this, here it is, title page, and then everything throughout, including the headers and subheaders. If you do not compare your paper to my paper to make sure that your paper looks like my paper, you are a fool. I'm going to let that just sit there. You are a fool. I am literally giving you the points to say, hey, this is how you get a good grade. If you're not paying attention to it, that's on you, okay? Please make sure to submit it on time. I will not be accepting it late at all. Please make sure to have 7 full pages of cited text. Be sure to follow the sample and directions, please. You should have been working on this for over a month, so if you've put it off, well, the chickens are coming home to roost, Bobby Boucher. Regardless, I have the sample and directions once again attached to the announcement in case you missed it the first half dozen times I pointed at it. Remember, it's worth a full quarter of your grade, and it needs to be as perfect as you can make it. By the way, right here, you will see the rubric. If you click on the rubric, you will see exactly how it is being graded. You've got a focus place. You've got a development. You've got coherence, clarity, and style. You've got use of source material. You've got editing in terms of grammar and proofreading. You've got formatting, which is APA. I will be going through this and using this rubric. Once again, if you click right here under Process and Resources, Review the Rubric, you will see the actual rubric. You should know exactly how this paper is being graded. Lastly, you have the Unit 4 speech outline, which is actually really easy, okay? Once you get here, click on this link here, Which brings up this lovely thing. If you do this right, you're actually just going to be writing your script. You can plan ahead and start to come up with your own ideas right here and just start filling in the blanks, and I'll take a look at it when you submit it. Once you get this complete, the actual construction and execution of the presentation is quite easy. So if you go through and just replace all of these prompts with your own ideas, you're in absolutely great shape. It won't take you that long since I want you to focus on the paper anyway. 2 weeks left, folks. Can you believe it? You've almost made it. For this week, get your paper perfect and submitted. That's your main goal. Next, do your outline. That will only help you. Once the submissions are complete, put your feet up and relax, okay? You've earned it at this point. Now, have a good one, and we'll see you for our final week next week.